Have you ever wondered where Jesus Christ was during Satan's rebellion in heaven? Imagine this. Satan, once a beautiful and powerful angel, decided to rebel against God. But what about Jesus during this great cosmic drama? In this episode, we'll explore the powerful and mysterious events that took place long before our world existed. This story revolves around the war in heaven, where Satan, originally a glorious angel named Lucifer, rose up against God. It led to a fierce battle among the angels. Some joined Satan, while others stood with God and all that is good. But where was Jesus Christ during all of this? What was his role in this heavenly conflict? That's the big question we're going to tackle today. Before we dive in, please support this channel by subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. Check out our other videos for more inspiring content. God bless you. Let's get started. Understanding the war in heaven is crucial because it reveals the larger picture of good and evil and the ongoing spiritual battles that still affect us today. It helps us grasp why there is so much suffering in the world despite God's plans for our good, as he expressed in Jeremiah 29:11. "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." So if God's plan is for good, why is there so much evil, pain, and suffering? How did it all begin? This story takes us back to the root of it all, a simple seed of pride that grew into a full-scale rebellion against Almighty God, the creator of the universe. It teaches us about the dangers of pride and rebellion, the importance of loyalty and obedience to God, and the ultimate authority of Jesus Christ. By understanding this ancient conflict, we can find strength and guidance for our own lives. Now picture heaven, a place so breathtaking and magnificent that it's almost beyond description. Imagine vast, radiant landscapes filled with light and glory, where peace and joy are in every corner. There are no shadows of sorrow or pain, only the brilliance of God's presence. The air is alive with the sweet sound of angelic choirs praising God. It's a perfect paradise where love reigns supreme. In this celestial paradise, countless angels serve God. These powerful, radiant beings each have unique roles and abilities. Some are messengers, delivering God's words across the universe. Others are protectors, guarding the gates of heaven and the souls within. There are also angels who continuously worship, their voices blending in a beautiful symphony of praise and adoration. Among all these heavenly beings, Jesus Christ holds a special and supreme position. Jesus, the Son of God, has always existed with God the Father. He's not a created being, but is part of the Holy Trinity, sharing in the divine nature. In heaven, Jesus is honored and revered by all the angels. His presence radiates love, wisdom, and power. Jesus is the King of heaven, the Prince of Peace, and the source of all light and life. The Gospel of John begins by affirming his eternal existence. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. And in verse 3 it says, "Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made." So, where was Jesus when Satan attempted to overthrow his Father? Before the rebellion, heaven was a place of perfect order and joy. The angels, led by Jesus, carried out their duties with glad hearts. There was no discord or conflict. In his divine role, Jesus provided guidance and leadership, ensuring that heaven remained a realm of eternal peace and happiness. This was the state of heaven before the shadow of rebellion darkened its pure light, a perfect harmony reflecting the glory and goodness of God. The origin of the rebellion. In the radiant and harmonious realm of heaven, there was an angel who shone brighter than the rest. His name was Lucifer, meaning light-bringer, or morning star. Lucifer was extraordinarily beautiful and wise, adorned with dazzling jewels and a radiant brilliance that captivated all who saw him. He held a high rank among the angels, a position of great honor and responsibility. As a guardian cherub, he was close to God's throne, a protector of divine glory, and a leader among the heavenly hosts. His beauty, wisdom, and proximity to God gave him great influence and authority. But over time, Lucifer's heart changed. Pride began to grow within him. He became infatuated with his own beauty and power, and started desiring more than his esteemed position. He wanted to be equal to God, to be worshipped and exalted like the Almighty. This pride twisted his mind, leading him to believe he could overthrow God and claim the throne for himself. Lucifer's prideful ambition led him to rebel against the very source of his existence and glory. He spread his discontent among the other angels, persuading many to join him in his rebellion with promises of greater power and authority. This deceit led a significant number of angels to turn away from their loyalty to God. The prophet Isaiah describes this fall. "How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit." Isaiah 14:12-15. This marked the beginning of a great rebellion in heaven. A place of perfect harmony and peace was now teetering on the brink of war, all due to Lucifer's pride and ambition. His desire to be equal with God set the stage for a cosmic conflict that would change the course of history. The great war in heaven. As Lucifer's pride blossomed, so did the seeds of rebellion he had sown. Heaven, once a place of perfect harmony, began to feel the stirrings of discord. Lucifer, now known as Satan, gathered his followers, angels who had been swayed by his promises of power and glory. Enchanted by his charisma and deceived by his lies, these angels chose to stand against God, turning away from the light and love they once knew. The moment of open rebellion arrived. Satan and his fallen angels openly defied God, seeking to seize the throne and usurp divine authority. This act of defiance shattered the peace of heaven. The serene and joyous realm became a battlefield for a cosmic conflict, an epic struggle between the forces of good and evil. The great war in heaven erupted with intense ferocity. On one side stood Satan and his legion of fallen angels, determined to gain power. On the other side were the loyal angels, led by the archangel Michael, who stood firm in defending the honor and glory of God. The battle in heaven, a clash of good and evil. The epic battle in heaven was both intense and awe-inspiring, as angels engaged in a celestial clash of might and power. Celestial swords clashed, filling the skies with dazzling displays of light, as the forces of good and evil fought fiercely. The loyal angels, driven by their unwavering devotion to God, valiantly faced off against the insurgents. Despite the strength and cunning of Satan and his followers, they were no match for the mighty force of God's loyal angels. Led by Michael, whose unwavering faith and indomitable spirit made him a powerful leader, the loyal angels fought with a sense of justice and righteousness. Their faith in God and love for the light fueled their strength, allowing them to overpower the forces of darkness. As the battle raged on, heaven itself trembled under the weight of the conflict. The turning point came when Jesus, the Son of God, intervened. With divine authority and unmatched power, Jesus stood as the ultimate force against Satan. His presence radiated an overwhelming light that pierced through the darkness, and as he said in Luke 10:18, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven." In the face of Jesus' divine power, Satan and his followers were ultimately defeated. Their strength waned, and their resolve crumbled. The rebellion was quashed, and the forces of darkness were vanquished. Satan and his fallen angels were cast out of heaven, expelled from the divine presence they had once known. The great war in heaven ended with the triumph of good over evil. The loyal angels, led by Archangel Michael and empowered by the presence of Jesus, restored peace and harmony to the celestial realm. Heaven once again became a place of perfect order and joy, a testament to the power and justice of God. This epic battle serves as a profound reminder of the consequences of pride and rebellion and the ultimate victory of righteousness and faith. In heaven, Jesus Christ holds the highest position alongside God the Father. He is not just another angel, he is the Son of God, eternal and uncreated. Jesus is part of the Holy Trinity, sharing in the divine essence and authority. His presence is a source of light, life, and love, radiating throughout the entire heavenly realm. Jesus' power is unmatched, embodying the fullness of God's wisdom, justice, and love. All angels revere and worship him, recognizing his supreme authority and divine nature. During the Great Rebellion, Jesus was not a passive observer. As Satan and his followers waged war against God, Jesus actively defended the heavenly realm. He provided strategic guidance to the loyal angels, led by the Archangel Michael, empowering them with his divine strength. Jesus' presence on the battlefield was a beacon of hope and encouragement, bolstering the morale of the loyal angels and ensuring their unity and resolve. As Apostle Paul said, he disarmed the rulers and authorities and put them to open shame by triumphing over them in him. With his unmatched power, Jesus directly confronted Satan, countering the forces of darkness with his divine authority. His words and actions were like a brilliant light, cutting through the chaos and confusion of the rebellion. Jesus' intervention was crucial in turning the tide of the battle, overwhelming Satan's pride and ambition with the pure, unyielding force of God's righteousness. The outcome of Jesus' intervention was decisive. Satan and his rebellious angels were defeated, their ambitions crushed under the weight of divine justice. Jesus' power and leadership ensured that the forces of good triumphed over the forces of evil. The rebellious angels were cast out of heaven, expelled from the divine presence they had betrayed. The expulsion of Satan restored peace and order to heaven. The celestial realm, once shaken by conflict, was now a place of renewed harmony and joy. Through this epic battle, Jesus demonstrated the unwavering power of God's love and justice. His actions during the war in heaven remind us that no matter the darkness we face, the light of Jesus will always prevail, guiding and protecting those who remain faithful to God. Following his defeat, Satan faced the ultimate consequence for his rebellion, expulsion from heaven, along with the angels who followed him. This wasn't just a change in location, but a profound fall from grace. Banished from the presence of God, they could no longer dwell in the divine light and glory of heaven. This event marked their transition from exalted beings of light to fallen angels, now condemned to roam the earth and the realms of darkness. It's a powerful reminder of the consequences of pride and disobedience, underscoring God's absolute authority and the inevitable triumph of good over evil. The story of the war in heaven and Satan's fall carries important lessons for us today. It warns of the dangers of pride, showing how Satan's downfall began with an inflated sense of self-importance. It also emphasizes the value of loyalty and faithfulness to God, as demonstrated by the angels who stood by him during the conflict. Their unwavering devotion reminds us to stay true to God's will, even when faced with challenges. The ultimate victory of Jesus and the loyal angels over Satan's rebellion reassures us that good will always prevail over evil. This victory encourages us to stand firm in our faith, trusting in God's power and justice. Moreover, the restoration of peace in heaven after the war gives us hope that despite the presence of evil and conflict in the world, God's ultimate plan is for peace and redemption. In all this, Jesus Christ played a key role in the defeat of Satan. His victory over evil stands as a testament to the power of good and the assurance that God's love and justice will always prevail. Whenever we face difficulties, we can turn to Jesus, knowing His light will guide us through the darkest times. So where was Jesus during the war in heaven? He was right there, fighting for the truth and the glory of God. As we navigate our lives, we can remember that Jesus is always with us, powerful and loving, ready to help us in our own battles. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to this channel, like and share this video.